Now it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today, Mary Hayes Grieco, who is a fascinating lady who's got a lot of experience and knowledge. She's been described as an original and expansive thinker, a pragmatic, emotional healer, and an uplifting public speaker. She's been teaching spirituality classes since 1982. She's currently the director and lead trainer of the Midwest Institute for Forgiveness Training. She is the author of 2 books, the most recent one, Unconditional Forgiveness, a simple method to forgive everyone and everything. She also has 4 audio books out, so she's very prolific. She's been on the faculty of Hazelden Renewal Center for 16 years. She's taught courses in the spirituality of the workplace at the University of St. Thomas. She's been a keynote speaker at conferences serving organizations that are fostering a spirit of wellness and positive community in their company culture. The Midwest Institute for Forgiveness provides programs based on a model and methods of unconditional love and forgiveness in the life work of, that was the life work of Mary's mentor, Dr. Edith Stauffer, whom Mary met and began training with in 1986. And Mary has taught forgiveness in both Ireland and North Ireland. She was the featured speaker at the Nobel Peace Prize Forum in 2005 and has worked extensively with military families and returning vets. She had her own radio show in the Twin Cities from 1986 to 94 called The Blue Couch, wherein she interviewed leaders in spiritual thought and holistic health. Mary thinks of herself as a philosopher and a healer and a lover of God in ordinary things. She is dedicated to liberating the joy of the human spirit and participating fully in what she perceives to be the birth of a new humanity. She hopes we all will be a light and live purposefully in service to others in these transformational times. It is my pleasure to introduce Mary Hayes Grieco. Thank you, Mary.
Good morning. Good morning. Boy, when you read all those things that I did, I think, really? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I could feel tired, but I don't. I feel energized because it's been a great privilege and a blessing to come into a pathway and a life work around teaching unconditional love and forgiveness. Because every time I come into a place like this, where there's a lot of dedicated souls who are wanting to really open up and become the most that we can be and to offer our light and our gifts to the world, I am so blessed to come to your community and to share some of the very practical, concrete things that I've learned about forgiveness over the last 22 years. And I love this community, I love this building, I love being in this room with you this morning. And I started teaching in 1989, in June of 1989, I started my first forgiveness public workshop, and that was right here in the room downstairs. I had my first bunch of people that were saying, how do you get over things? Ouch, how do I really put this issue from my childhood to rest? How do I get over this loss, this disappointment? How do I stop feeling alone and ashamed and weird in this world? How? And I've been on that journey myself for a long time. How do I really live as a beloved child of the universe in God's garden? How do I really live the vision that my soul gives me from time to time of how things really tick and what the universe wants for us when I'm slogging my way out of different stories that have left some pain, some residue, or just ordinary things, as my friend calls it, when life gets lifey, when there's just kind of a lot of coming and going and shifting and changing. Sometimes we just got to forgive life for being so changeable, for being so unpredictable, and for not being able to have control over it. So unconditional love and forgiveness are universal spiritual principles that we can learn, like we learn how to drive a car, how to floss our teeth. It's a health habit, and a way of life. And Unconditional Forgiveness, which is the title of my new book. Isn't it pretty? It's only about a month old, my little baby. It's from Simon & Schuster. Unconditional forgiveness is a pathway of saying, okay, bring it on. I'm going to live this. I'm going to forgive everyone and everything, no matter what it is. I'm going to become the most soulful, joyful person that I know how to be. And these principles of forgiveness help me to do that. So I want to share some things with you this morning, but let's just kind of bring ourselves together first in a little bit of a group meditation around unconditional love and forgiveness, so we can maybe taste this as more than some thoughts, more than some words. Maybe we can taste the memory of that, the truth of that inside our hearts and our bodies. So let's just have you settle into your own chair in your own space with a sense of welcoming yourself here this morning, welcoming yourself just as you are, exactly as you are in this space, in this time, on this cold, clear, early spring morning. Get a sense of the support and friendliness and comfort of this building around us. This building that has hosted so many loving talks and events. Like an old friend, letting this space be around you, like an arm around your shoulder. Welcoming everything that's in this day, this room, noises that come into the room, the sense of the traffic outside, the city, whatever's coming next throughout your day and evening. Being in the center of a beautiful circle. And bringing the sense of the circle stronger as we welcome to our mind God's angels in the directions. Welcoming the angels and energies of the north and the east and the south and the west, with all the gifts, all the blessings, all the renewal that comes with nature's expressions in earth, in winter air, in fire and sunlight, in water, flowing or frozen. And having the sense of the great dome of the cosmos over us, around us, spreading out. An ancient and friendly space from which come the ancestors and the masters who lead us and guide us. And below us, the planet herself, our beloved Earth, who has a molten core of love, of endurance, of creativity, of beauty. She teaches us from those aspects of herself. The earth below us, holding us on this winter day, blessing us with her endurance and beauty, which reminds us of our own. And let's imagine, even though we're sitting in pews, that we also are in a circle. We're in a community circle. We're all friends and equals here. All of us are walking a holy path. All of us are fighting a good fight. All of us are children in a garden, feeling lost or found, depending on the day. Let us honor each other silently in spirit as fellow students and teachers. And let us imagine the invisible circle that is here with us too. A circle around this room, angels, master teachers, ancestors, and perhaps bringing to mind one of the people in your life who was the gift of unconditional love for you. Someone who always looked at you with acceptance and delight. Maybe they're here in your life in the present. Maybe they were long ago, a relative, a neighbor, a friend, casual acquaintance. Bring to mind the face, the being of a person who looked at you with unconditional love and held you always in that light. Let them come to mind. Let them bless you with that look from their eyes or that hand on your shoulder. The one that says, I see you. I see the good in you. Great Spirit, you are Mother, you are Father, you are pure Creator, you are Friend. You are the ocean of white light from which my own soul emerges like a beautiful light over my head, a sun that shines with peace and knowingness and love. We welcome your presence fully open in our hearts and bodies and minds today. And we ask that today be a good day to start again, a good day to begin again living universal principles of unconditional love, forgiveness, and joy. We offer this time together that we're spending together to you, Great Spirit, and to the whole planet. Everyone and everything. Blessed be. So, as you're ready, you can open your eyes and we'll do some practical thinking about this pathway of unconditional love and forgiveness. I came into this pathway because I knew that I would be happier if I wasn't so miserable. That makes sense, doesn't it? I knew on some level that my soul was very joyful and was all about freedom and all about hope and faith and delight, and yet I was slogging forward with a lot of burdens, a lot of isolation, a lot of feeling on the outside of life and people and things, and somehow feeling like everyone else got to be at the party but I wasn't invited. Somehow feeling like any way you cut it, it's always going to be hard for me. It's always been hard growing up in an alcoholic home with troubled parents and too many children for those troubled parents to mind with any kind of mindfulness. I had serial traumas, a few of them kind of heavy-duty sexual abuse experiences that made me feel just terrible, terrible inside and broken in a way. And yet I knew something about wholeness and freedom, and I was praying and praying back there in 1985 to God to say, show me how I healed and show me how I helped others heal. Because I've always noticed emotional suffering in people around me. Even when I was in first grade, I'd see some little boy sitting in his chair, and something about his face and his posture and his energy would make me ache. I'd think, oh, he hurts so badly. How has he helped? I was asking that question all my life. How do you help these things? And so I found myself praying and saying, show me, show me. And I was blessed to discover a life teacher then that year, 6 months later, when I met my teacher, Dr. Stauffer. And the reason that I began to follow her around like a lovesick puppy dog as soon as I met her and beg her to teach me was I kind of even didn't know what she was teaching. I didn't know it was forgiveness. It could have been